If you can involve the parents somehow, you know, put stuff up on the web for them to see, photos as things happen, that's really exciting, and it's huge. Parents love it, and you'll just get so much feedback and kudos, and parents want to give their kids these really rich experiences because they're always feeling guilty that they're not doing enough. I speak from personal experience. So you, as a parent, you just want to see evidence that the kids are doing something exciting and interesting at school. And just imagine that if you actually put a cam in a lot of classrooms and streamed it out, or even just took, you know, once a week snapshots, what would parents mostly see? You know, they'd mostly see a teacher standing at the front, and they'd mostly see kids at desks, or maybe milling around desks. But that's pretty much what they'd see a lot of the time. So showing parents this rich integrated experience is kudos for you and great for your relationship with those parents, and you will get to know those kids much faster. You'll need to think about how you collect that evidence of what they're doing. So there might be a whole range of bits and pieces you have to make. There might be resources you have to gather. And the other thing is, you're a teacher, but you don't have to know everything. But there might be some stuff you do need to know. So there might be some PD that has to happen. You may need to go and do your research on South Africa in the 80s, especially if you're younger than me, which I imagine a lot of you are. So you're going to have to do that research. If you are from that time, you're going to have to check your biases. Check your understandings, you know, go back and reread some of those newspaper articles again and make sure that you're not bringing a lens to that's going to bias the experience for the kids. And that in the arts and SOS is a big danger for teachers. If they bring their own biases to everything, then you are it's just another kind of, this is what you should think. Teaching and learning, no matter how beautifully it's dressed up or how many pictures you take of it. So it's about actually genuinely wanting kids to ask questions about what it means to, in the South African instance, have a majority oppressed by a minority, or have most of the wealth with the smallest number of people, or have rules for one group of people in the community that are completely different to the other group. So there's some of the big questions that sit around apartheid as an example that you'd want to have unpacked by the kids and get them to really think that through. And as I say it, I can hear my bias, which is, you know, racism is bad. That's my bias, and that's what I'm hoping kids discover for themselves, and I don't have to tell them that, they find it. And so maybe, you know, there are questions that are even more open than that, you know, questions where there is really, what's the best way forward with water management? Should we be building more dams? You know, where there really is some debate that can happen, and there doesn't have to be a right answer. So I've given that one example, but even as I say it, I go, oh yeah, it's a bit of, you know, racism is bad. That's what I think, and I think as a teacher I can stand up and share that. But, you know, you can find questions which are very open, especially if you create fictional contexts like development contexts, you know, what's good for the community, what's not so good for the community. Should we build that resort here on this island? Yeah, and there'll always be yes and no, and that can be really exciting learning. And you can make the ads for the resort, and you can, you know, have the persuasive town speeches, and you can, you know, run council meetings, and you can learn about legislation or the processes of legislation and teach all of that, and then get the kids to write letters to the editor. You know, you can do all of that really rich learning stuff, and you know, get to dress up if you need to as a teacher, which sometimes we do.
Okay, Jo, I think we'll leave it there.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
That point of dressing up. And that's fantastic. Thanks very much for your time.
No, it's been my pleasure.
Yeah.
Good luck, everyone.